Okay, you heard it here. You heard it here. Oba, you come from Nigeria. I come from Germany. Obviously, we have the same passion, and obviously, I'm much older than you. I don't want to kid you, but we have the same passion. I grew up watching WWE as a kid on videotapes and cassettes, and later on DVDs. So my question is, when you were growing up, were you a WWE fan? And if so, how did you watch WWE?
Well, Sebastian, my friend, we have a very similar history when it comes to being fans of the sport, because I also indulged in acquiring cassettes and DVDs, and that's how I kept up with the product at the time. So what would happen is the PLE or the Monday Night Raw would happen on a Sunday or a Monday, and then I would have to purchase it the next day because at the time in Africa we weren't getting like the live feed. We would have to wait like a day or two before we could actually get it. So like the next day, I would go out to the shops and look for the CDs and purchase it, and that's how I built my. I actually have a large archive of CDs of Monday Night Raws and SmackDowns all the way from 2012 to like 2017, just sitting somewhere in my house. So that's how I was a fan.
I feel you, my brother. I feel you. I feel the passion. I've got tons of fan questions for you from all over the world: Germany, Switzerland, Austria, from all over the planet. Are you ready for the fan
Let's
questions?
do it.
Let's get straight to it. First question is from Nino. It's actually the funniest one. It's a good question to start this interview with. He writes, if you were trapped in an elevator for several hours, which NXT superstar do you not want to have in there with you?
Uh, uh, I don't think there's any NXT superstar or WWE superstar that I'm wary of being stuck in a confined area with. I mean, the ruler has no fear. But as far as like people being annoying, maybe Ren Sinclair, she's quite the talkative. Maybe Joe Gacy, he's a little bit weird. Any superstar that is weird or talkative, keep them away from me.
I love your background, by the way. It looks awesome. And you have the title over your shoulder. You're prepared. You're
Thank you,
prepared. That's why you're the champ, my man.
thank you, my friend. Thank you.
This question is from Sasha. He writes, you were born in Nigeria. How long did you live in Africa before coming to the US?
I was in Africa for 19 years. I was born in Lagos, Nigeria, and I stayed there up until I was 19. And that's when I got my scholarship to go to MTSU, and I transferred to Alabama. And then after I graduated from Alabama, I came to WWE. A lot of people don't, believe me or think that I'm authentically from Nigeria. Everyone thinks it's well, not everyone. Most people think it's just a gimmick, but no, I did grow up in the streets of Lagos.
Wow, that's so awesome. There were so many questions about that. We'll get to that. But first, this question from Pia. She writes, who were your favorites growing up?
Mm. So Triple H, my all-time favorite, and then I guess the rest of the top five, were kind of interchangeable. Shawn Michaels is up there, CM Punk is up there, Brock Lesnar is up there. Growing up, also Chris Jericho was up there for me. So like those five were like my go-to guys.
I think I could see you modeling your ring style after a Brock Lesnar. Am I
Yeah,
right?
yes, this is correct. I really I liked a lot of the things he did. I liked his offense, but most importantly, his selling was always the biggest thing that like I respected about him. For such a big, athletic, explosive, legitimate guy, he's such a good seller.
Yeah, and it means something when he sells for you, right?
Hmm.
You used to be a shot putter. Can you tell us more about that? I think it's incredibly interesting. And how long were you active in the sport?
So active in the sport from 2014 all the way, well, ending of 2014. So we could technically say 2015
Mhm.
all the way till 2022. So, 7-ish years and some change. It was my passion for a very long time. The goal was always to go to the Olympics and, maybe medal, do my country proud. I never stayed in the sport long enough to actualize those dreams. But I'm very happy with the path I'm in right now.
So let me know. This is maybe a nerdy question, but what's the difference between shot put and discus? Because there were some athletes in WWE history that threw discuses, but you're a shot putter. What's the difference there? Is there a certain talent or a certain build that is required? Or let me in on these secrets.
So like for the shot put is the round ball, the discus is the flat disc. Um, as far as the body type specific to those events, for shot put, you want someone who's more, you know, dense, big. You don't necessarily need long limbs as
Okay.
opposed to the discus. The discus, you need long limbs for that, you know, big radius to like make the discus, you know, fly through the air. So just very different body types, two very different sports. Technique wise, you can spin to throw both, and most people who do well in shot put tend to do well in discus, or do well in discus tend to do well in shot put. But like when you take it down to the nitty gritty, it's very, very different.
When it comes to discus, I always think of WWE Hall of Famer Kerry Von Erich. He had the discus punch as a finishing move, even.
Yeah.
But it makes sense what you say. So you more of a sturdy guy. So are you a big bench presser? What's your best bench press? It's a meathead question, I know, but you have to tell me. You have to tell me.
So my best bench coming out of college was 475. I mean, I felt like I could have always done more, but we never chased it that hard. So I do love the bench, but for my I guess for my event at the time, shot put, my bench press wasn't good. But like I mean, to the average man, 475 is whoa, like it's huge. But like for shot putters, it wasn't that good. But I was still able to. What's funny is that I was still able to throw alongside with and better than a lot of the guys who benched way more. So it didn't really matter for me. But yeah, big bencher here.
Wow, wow. The ruler makes his own rules. How did you come to NXT? It's a short question from Mirak, but it's a great question.
So my final year in college, I was messaged by WWE Recruit on Instagram of all places. At first, I thought it was a scam. As I went on to find out that a lot of the guys here also thought it was a scam. I ignored it for a while. I went back and checked the legitimacy of the person, you know, messaging me, went to the page, like looked up the name, and I was like, okay, this might be real. So I messaged back and they were like, are you still interested in coming to Vegas for a tryout? This was August 2021. Sorry. Yes, August 2021. They messaged me. They said it was going to be in Vegas on the 17th of August. I said, deal, let's do it. So they flew me out there. I did the tryout, and the rest is history, my friend.
I can relate to that so much. When I signed my first WWE contract in 2013, yeah, 2013, I got calls from a Stanford number. And I was thinking, man, it has to be a buddy of mine. They know about my wrestling passion and they know that I want to go to WWE. And I was very hesitant on the phone, but they knew things about me and they had certain information that made me think, it can't be a scam, right? And then I signed my first contract. So I can relate to that. I can relate to that big time.
I feel that.
This question is from Niels. He writes, has anything from shot putting helped you in WWE, maybe for your footwork or for throwing people around?
Uh, yes, footwork. Yes, throwing people around. But like the biggest lesson shot put taught me was that no matter where you go, the dimensions are the same. And let me explain that. So with the shot put, you have a 7-foot ring, and you obviously have your training ground at home, wherever you train, be it your school or your yard or wherever that is, and you get accustomed to that area. So when you have to travel out to a meet, somewhere else with a different circle, it feels different a lot of times. And a lot of times they can be because they make rings with sometimes it's slicker, sometimes it's more rough and more friction. But shot put taught me that regardless where I go, it's still 7 feet. That didn't change. So all these other factors is like, oh, I don't have my the pole that is in front of me normally is not there, so it threw me off. Like it taught me to get rid of all those beliefs and just understand that like the ring is 7 foot everywhere you go. If you can do it at practice at home base, you can do it anywhere you go. So same thing here. So whether it's alone with me and Terry Taylor in the ring at the PC, or in front of 15,000 people at Stand and Deliver, the mission remains the same. The ring is still the same size. So it's really helped me. It's gotten rid of all of my nerves, and I've become a better performer here in the WWE because of that.
That's great life advice, I feel, because if you do your homework, if you do your training, you can be successful. You can't get caught up in the surroundings, is what you want to say, I guess.
Yeah, you can't. You just can't. People deceive themselves, and that's where the pressure starts to build. it's like, wow, it's all these people in front of me, and the ring is the same. It's the same thing. Just do what brought you to the dance, and you'll be
It's
fine.
all in your head. It's all in your head. This is a great question from Leon. He writes, "Are there any other sports you are interested in?" And I'm very curious about your answer here.
I mean, interested in the sense of watching an entertainment.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I love watching MMA. I love I love watching people box, fight. Like martial arts is like one of the sports that I'm like really into and stuff. But as far as like having the urge to go do it, right now not as much. I could pick it up as a hobby, but I have a good thing going here in WWE. I'm at the top of the ladder for a reason, and I feel like I still have unfinished business to do in wrestling.
That is so interesting because I love MMA. My profession is a wrestling announcer, boxing announcer, MMA announcer. Like all my passions, I was able to make a profession. So, who are your favorite fighters outside of WWE, like in the boxing ring or in the octagon?
So in the octagon, I love John Jones. I've watched him for a very long time. I like Marab. Everyone says he's boring, but he's the funniest. He's one of the funniest guys to me. Kamaru Usman, Adesanya, just them being Nigerian alone, they made a fan out
Francis,
of me. What's that?
Francis Ngannou?
Ngannou as well. Actually, yeah, he's up there. Respect him, big respect to him. Like he has one of these like must hear kind of stories. Like you need to know where he came from. Like he's really come a long way, and congratulations for him, to him leaving and betting on himself and going into boxing and finding a good amount of success. He put Tyson Fury on his back foot when he fought him in, I don't know, where were they, Dubai or Saudi somewhere, but
Saudi.
like Saudi, yeah. So they, that was amazing for Francis. Happy for him. But yeah, those are my guys when it comes to the sport of MMA.
It's so interesting, and it shows me that you know your stuff because people who say that Merab is boring, they never did something athletic in their life because he's got such a motor. The cardio on that
He's
guy, it's insane,
crazy.
man.
He's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. He wears these people down for 25 minutes. And to me, that's even more impressive than knocking someone out with a single punch, because you have to invest so much in a fight like that. And the people, the quality of opponent, he grinds down, he grinds through the meat grinder for 25 minutes. It's just insane what the
Yeah,
guy can do.
it's crazy, and it's biased because when Habib did it, it was like, oh, the goat. Now Marab does it, he's boring. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. But I think even outside the octagon, he's hilarious. Like, just if you have you seen him talk at press conferences, like
Yeah.
he's funny to me. He's my guy.
Yeah, I love him on Instagram with all his jokes. He makes me laugh so much. But you have good taste there, my man. You have good taste there. What about soccer? I remember growing up, JJ Okocha was huge in Frankfurt in Germany. His tricks he did, dude. Everybody wanted to do them on the streets and on the soccer grounds. Are you a big soccer fan by any means?
I wish I was, honestly. I just didn't grow. I grew up watching soccer, but like passively.
Mhm.
So it would always be like when my friends or my dad's friends were around and they would watch, then I would watch. But like I've never really been like into soccer as much. Uh it just maybe it's something with the pacing that's just never been able to like hold my attention. And like I was always the oddball when it came to that. Like he doesn't like soccer. Like I was the weird one. Like who doesn't like soccer? And I understand why the appeal, but like my brain is programmed to like focus on certain pacings when it comes to games and sports, and it just doesn't quite have that for me.
Seek and destroy is your pacing, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I need action. I need movement. I don't need resets. Like I need us to go.
I feel you. I feel you. This question is from Leonard. He writes, "Did you expect to succeed so quickly and squash every goal there is in NXT?"
I always knew it was possible because I knew what I was capable of. Um, mm, did I think it would happen this fast? Not necessarily, but I always knew it could happen this fast. And for me, it's never about just the success and the goals. I think people's approach to success is a little bit, skewed. When people think about success, they think about the end goal, like the medal, but sometimes it's just about the days you come in and you're not feeling it, and you overcome, and you, at the end of the practice, you felt something that at the beginning you didn't think you were going to be able to achieve. It's those are the little wins. That's what builds your confidence, and that's what makes success the eventual goal. Uh, I honestly don't think about success. I think about how good is this match going to be? What's the business here? What did we accomplish what we were looking to accomplish with that segment? That is my motto. I don't believe in like the end goal, the final achievement. I believe in the small wins that build up to that place.
In Germany, we have a saying that goes like this: the goal is the way, if that makes
Mm,
sense.
that does
So
make sense.
the process of it all is the goal in itself. So and I like that approach that you have there. Here's an interesting question from Paul. He writes, when you compare your first and your latest match, where did you improve the most? And if I did my research correctly, your first match was November of 2022 against Dante Chen, the first WWE superstar ever from Singapore, right?
Uh, on TV, yes,
Yeah.
my first televised match was Dante. Um, okay, we'll take that match because it was the first TV match. But I had done some live events before that. But I would say my selling got better, my cardio got better, um, my facials got. It's all round improvement. I don't think there's anything from that match that like that stands out as better than what I am today, or like the same as I am today. I've definitely improved in every facet of the game because now I have perspective, I have experience, I have reps. So I'm definitely better in any category that you can, think of. I've definitely improved.
Um, in all honesty, I mean, a guy your size, 300 pounds plus, 6'6", how much did you struggle with cardio? Because wrestling nowadays, I think people don't understand how fast paced it is, how much you have to do in a certain amount of time, and what that means for a body type like yourself.
It was tough. It was tough, especially coming from shot put where there was no, like, you don't do cardio when you throw. When you throw, your job is to become as strong as possible and launch that ball. You have six tries. You're not running. You're resting in between each set. You're good. Uh, Cardio was definitely the biggest obstacle, and that's the biggest improvement for me and the one I'm most proud of. It was very tough, so I had to find different ways because there's different kinds of endurance too. There's your cardiovascular, your breathing, your heart, and then there's also your muscular endurance. Are you catching lactic? When you're moving and stuff like that. So I had to improve both facets and both elements. To become better. I had to lean more into the lactic part of it, because the muscular part of it, because I would notice that my breathing is fine, but like my legs are tired or my arms are tired. So like I really had to, engage in a lot of high volume training, high repetitions and stuff like that. And in the long run, it definitely paid off.
And you have to get in the ring. I only wrestled on the indies before I became an announcer, before I became a commentator. But I think what people don't understand it, there's no thing that can replicate what you guys do inside of a ring, because you can do all the cardio in the world. You can go on the treadmill, but if you're taking these bumps and if you get the air kicked out of yourself,
Hmm.
it's such a different kind of a workout, for a lack of a better term, right?
Oh yeah, it's very different. Like some people even say like the best cardio for wrestling
Is wrestling.
is wrestling. Yeah, you don't like there's not too much else you can do outside that's just going to like give you this monumental jump and increase in endurance. No, you just have to get used to taking bumps, controlling your breathing in the moment. You also have to work on your nerves, because like when you're nervous and you're angst, you tighten up, you're not breathing the way you should, and how it is. It flies off the rails from there. So the best training for wrestling is wrestling.
Well said, well said. And you're very good at that. So I want to read this question from Zach to you. Do you think your match against Javon and Trick was the best match of your career so far?
That's a good question. I think it depends on who you ask. Uh, it's up there for sure. It's top two. It's definitely
Is the other one
top two.
match the year before against Briggs and Dijak?
Yeah, I think that was. I still think that was a better match. because of the impressiveness of the whole thing. Um, because this match, it was me, Trick, and Javon, and everybody had a distinct part to play. You know, Obafemi is going to be the strong one. You know, Trick is going to be the entertainer, and you know, Javon is going to fly. And we played that role perfectly, and it was a beautiful match. But the year before, it was me, Dijak, and Josh Briggs, and you don't really know what the dynamic is going to be with three big men in there. And like it was all over the place. It was chaos, and I feel like it was big men doing things that big men, shouldn't be able to do, but we're succeeding at it anyways. So I would put that one over the triple threat this year.
No bread, no water, just
Just
meat, just like Booker T says.
yes.
I liked it big time, and last year's WrestleMania was a great WrestleMania, but for me, that match stole the whole weekend. It was a great match. I enjoyed it so much, and I had Dijak on the show, I think 2 or 3 weeks after, and he really enjoyed it too. And that says something when two of the three participants that I've spoken to speak so highly of the match. It's got to say something.
Yeah, it does, and that's the big distinction there. Last year, Stand and Deliver, I knew for a fact that we stole the whole weekend. This year, I wasn't quite sure we stole the entire weekend because Io, Bianca, and Rhea did. I put their match above ours. In my head, I'm not. It's not definitive. Like I know we were better. I still like theirs is definitely up there.
I think it was the weekend of triple threats, if you ask me, because Seth versus Punk versus Reigns was also excellent. So these three matches are my matches of the weekend, and they're all triple threats. And it's a coincidence, but if you look at the people in the matches, you kind of
Makes
get it. You kind of get
sense. Yeah.
it. So Lars writes, what does it mean to you to get motivational words from the legendary Undertaker?
Oh man, it means the world to me. So there's obviously the motivational words he's given to me on TV, telling me this is my yard, and what an honor, what a big endorsement for me that is. But there's also what he tells me, behind the scenes. Like now that they just finished shooting LFG and stuff like that. So he's been around. So we've talked a lot, and he gives me advice. He watched my match with Moose, and he gave me some tips, and he was like, we could have done less, and still gotten the same reaction. And it's little things like that that make you think. So I appreciate the Undertaker being around. I appreciate his endorsement, and I hope he stays around for a while.
Can we please see a rematch with you and Moose? I liked it so much. I liked it so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to see that again. And are there any other legends you seek advice from aside from The Undertaker?
Punk is another one because he comes around a lot. He's really involved with NXT and really pushing the next generation of wrestlers. Ivar as well. Ivar, we do a big man class every Wednesday, so me and Ivar we're in the loop for sure. He gives me the most real advice out of everybody because Ivar is very open with me because we've had 2 years to build our relationship. So Ivar will tell me the nitty gritty about money, sponsorships, and all the little things, writing, creative, and how everything works. Why the segment worked, why the segment didn't work, and Ivar has this vault of knowledge because he's been wrestling forever as well. So I think those would be my three, just because of availability and them being present.
He doesn't wrestle like a big man. He's 350 and he wrestles like it's 205 live. He flies through the air, does these crazy moonsaults. I don't know how he does it.
But that's the thing. He does do that style, that cruiserweight style. But like when it comes to the big man game, he knows his thing too. Like he's been wrestling for so long that he's played both roles. He's been forced to wrestle smaller guys and be the big man. And he's also in the case when he has to wrestle like Drew or Sheamus, he's been the one with the more exciting high flying style. So he does have knowledge of both, and that's actually very helpful when it comes to giving advice because you can sometimes there's one-sided advice because you can do what a big man does, but you don't know how the smaller guy is going to receive it. But he has the perspective of both roles, so that's why his advice sticks and hits so much.
And he's also a tough cookie, I feel, because of all the neck injuries he's had. He had to fight back, and he always made a big comeback, and he's still around. So all power in the world to him. He
Yeah,
seems to be like a tough man.
he is. He is.
This question is from Felix. He writes, next week there will be a number one contender 25-man battle royal. Is there anyone you don't want to win, maybe to spare him from the destruction at WWE Battleground?
Mm. I think Javon would be one I don't want to win because he's he's tough. I gave him his flowers the other week, and I told the world how great he was. But I feel like if I have to get back in the ring with him, I'm going to be more ruthless this time. I'm not going to look at the fact that he's young or he's the future. Whatever I need to do to get that definitive win. And when you want a definitive win, you have to go to so many measures. So just to spare Javon, I'd say his name, Javon Evans.
All means necessary. Mara wants to know, usually a ruler has a big entourage. Have you ever thought about getting some support, or is doing it all by yourself the only option for OBA FEMI?
I would say doing it myself is the option right now because there's nobody who is ready, to go under my wing. I'm doing a great job all by myself. A lot of time people need managers and an entourage, to help them win or to help them be a mouthpiece. But I clearly don't need a mouthpiece, and I'm clearly winning, so there's just no need for any other body.
Clear answer. Fabi wants to know, who from Raw or SmackDown would you love to face?
Hmm. I mean, there's so many options. I mean, the big one, Gunther. We can just have a chop fest and destroy each other until somebody wins. Most likely me. Let me think. Sheamus would be another good one. Drew would be another good one. Seth would be a good one. Um, I I don't focus on individuals. Whoever is in front of me, I focus on making that the best match possible. I don't like to fantasy book or dream match. I don't like to wander in that direction too much because at the end of the day, what's real is what's real. What's in front of you is what you have to do. So that's how I proceed. Give me anybody, and I'll give you a good match.
Line them up. I was just about to read this question to you. It's from Marius, and he writes, can you please have a match against Gunther? But he adds, in Germany or Austria. So my question is, have you ever been to Europe, and would you love to have a match in Europe?
Definitely would love to. So those crowds are crazy. I love that energy. I feel like sometimes the American crowds here, like, they get spoiled. They're like, yeah, we get this all the time. It doesn't matter. They'll be in Chicago next week. We can just go. But over there, it's like the reception is incredible. So I would love to face Gunther in Germany. But I mean, definitely the odds would be against me. We might have some haters in the crowd. But at the end of the day, the match is going to be great, and we're going to make people believers by the end of it. So I would love to go to Germany.
It's all energy. Let me tell you, Bash in Berlin, the first PLE in Germany, was like the greatest day in my professional life. The crowd was so hot, and I think it would have been the place for you to have a match there. Oba Femi could have shown out there.
Yeah, I really could have. But shout out to Sheamus and Gunther though. They had a really good match. Was
Clash of the Castle in 2022, I guess, in Cardiff, Wales.
Oh, so
They had a
different place. I'm tripping. But yes, yeah, they had a really good one in Europe as well. So
in Germany. Gunther wrestled Randy Orton, and it was great as well. So you can't go wrong in
yeah,
Germany.
yeah, not at all. That was also a really good match too. Yeah.
This question is from Leah. She writes, your entrance is already legendary. Which other superstar would you like to see doing your entrance? They can be male or female.
Like someone else doing my entrance. I mean, I've never thought. That's a very interesting weird question. I've never thought about anybody else doing my entrance except me. I mean, if they tried to do it, they could try their best, but it would never hit the same. Um, for the sake of the question, I'll say Piper Niven because I think it would be hilarious. Just seeing her do the strut, I'd pay money to see it. So yeah, sure.
That's very funny. I was thinking, I don't know why, but I was thinking Oro Mensa as like a small version of you, like, a tiny version of Obafemi. I don't know. It just came into my head. Henning writes, after having an amazing match, which meal do you choose to reward yourself?
Alcohol. Uh, burgers and alcohol. Yeah, that's
Hon-
that's the
Honest answer. That's an honest
yeah.
answer.
I mean, how else do you celebrate a win? You have to unwind from a stressful day. So
So,
that's
so,
my
so, so
go-to.
what's your liquor of choice there?
Um, I'm a fireball guy. I'm a whiskey guy. I do tequila too, but yeah, vodka I'm not too crazy about. But yeah, those two.
So, what does the perfect burger look like? What does the Oba Femi double whammy look like?
So if it can have eggs in it, perfect. If not, it should have bacon, jalapenos, cheese, and I hate tall burgers. I don't like tall burgers. I like when they're like wider and like shorter, so the grip is just better there. So yeah, that's my ideal burger. Like nothing too crazy in there. Just as long as it has the patty, the cheese, the bacon, and if possible eggs, I'm good.
That's interesting. So, when you imagine yourself celebrating after this big match win with a burger, with some liquor of your choice, what movie are you watching in that moment?
Oh, my friend, I'm at the bar. I'm not watching anything like maybe I'll watch the match back, but for the most part, I'll just like to enjoy myself outside of my home or whatever hotel I'm staying at.
Perfect answer. Perfect answer. By the way, my commentary partner, my on-air partner Flo, he's your biggest fan, and we do the translations when you guys do promos. We do the translations in German for the German audience, of course. And he has this whole voice shtick down, like it's you, but it's German. You couldn't tell the difference between Flo and yourself. So shout out to him. Shout out to him.
Shout out
He's the
to
best. He's the
him,
best.
yeah.
Marcus wants to know, where do you get these great shirts and chains from?
Ooh. So as far as the shirts are concerned, do I want to reveal the secrets? You know what? The ruler will hold that one back. Just keep enjoying the different arrays of colorful, bright, shiny shirts that I bring to TV every Tuesday. Uh, as far as the chains, I get them wherever I can see them. If I see a chain I like it, I get it. If I'm at like Macy's and I see a nice chain, I'll get it. Like as far as the chains, nothing too crazy. Sometimes with the beads, I can either tell someone to ship one for me or like I can just get it from my secret source here. So
We don't want to tell anybody. I like the answer. Like the answer. This is the last question. It's from Simon, and he writes, if a cartoon was created about Obafemi, which animal would be your sidekick?
why does it have to be an animal though?
I don't know. You
That's
can
just the
choose a
question.
beautiful female if you like to. I don't know.
Well, first of all, I would like a human being to be my sidekick. But as I said again, I'm like Batman. I walk alone. I don't need a sidekick. If I did have a show, I would be solo. And if I did have a show or a cartoon, I would probably be the villain because I'm a huge obstacle to overcome. Like whether I'm a babyface or a heel, like Obafemi is always a daunting task. But like that's the thing about the daunting task, it functions better as a villain.
Like Batman, the Dark Knight. I would prefer you in that role, like saving the world. It would be a better place with Obafemi fighting for our rights and for our safety. I don't know.
Possibly. But I just like the idea of, I like my villains to be threatening and ominous and all those things. And I feel like my character is more suited to be the villain.
Your character is very interesting, I have to say. Thank you so much for taking the time, Oba. You have to promise to come back. I think we need to reveal even more layers of Oba Femi because there's many facets to this character, to this person.
Definitely. I would love to come back. I've had a great time answering these questions, and thank you again for having me,
And
my
if
man.
you ever come to Germany, which I expect, I mean, on one of these live tours or on a PLE or something, I have to show you around. I have to show you some food and the people here and some alcoholic beverages. I don't know. I don't know.
I look forward to it, man. I'm so looking forward to exploring the culture and seeing what Germany is all about. And I know it's going to happen very soon, my man.
Thank you. Bless you, my man. Thank you so much. That was a great interview, and the time was flying by. And until next time, this is OBA FEMI, guys. Awesome interview. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.